Hope comes and stops us in our tracks. Bravely we prove in our striving, trudging together each day. Where there's a will, there's a way.
All right, I got my sharing done. I got done. Yes, that's what it sounds like when you can type 80 words a minute. Hey, Kitty. What's up, Ronan? Get your ass out of my head. I don't mind loving you, but I don't want your butthole on my head. Okay? All right. Hi, Amber. I'm live. Yeah, I am live. Hi, I'm live, and I'm an alcoholic. You want to know my favorite band's name? Live. Live. Yeah, they're not together anymore. Well, the band is, but not the original members. So I don't really. Yeah. They got in a fight. They probably argued over who should be president. I said no politics today, right? Hi, Angel. Oh, come here. Come here. You're being called. All right. You're being called. Here you go. Yeah, he's in a loving mood right now. So expect him to be in my face. What he'll do is he will I'll pet him and he sits in front of me and just bats my nose up. See, watch if I stop petting him. Yeah, he's not doing it. But you stopped biting though, didn't you? He get too excited, he just start biting me. So, but we got the roses here. That's all that matters. Yes. I'm frustrated. With central office. I'm just going to talk about this So we have my name is Dion. Welcome to the Daily Trudge. I'm your host. If you're here, please say hello, blah, blah, blah. Okay, we're done with that. God, do it. Are people like, what? So we have this program called Bridge the Gap. And what it is it's a very hands-off approach. In other words, what you're going to do is you're going to take somebody from treatment to their first AA meeting, and that's about it. Okay, which I think is cool. I think that's a cool program. But here's the problem. They've decided that they're no longer going to do it on Zoom. They're going to have it at this place called Free. Well, this place is what I call Body Brokering Central. And I already know who's going to be in this freaking meeting. It's going to be full of body brokers. And I'm trying to tell Central Office. And they keep sending me like pamphlets. They're totally ignoring me. Totally ignoring me. So when I hear anything that I'm saying, I asked twice for a meeting with them. Finally, at the end, I just said, hey, if you don't know what's going on, how are you going to fit the needs? Never mind. I'll go. And I told her, I'll just go somewhere else then. I've already put in a complaint to World Services. This is ridiculous. Okay. Now, the popular people have taken over all these committees and things, while we're just sitting out here floundering and nobody gives a fuck. Today everybody's running around, oh, my president, no this, no that. And there's people out there fucking dying on the streets. Fuck the president. Who gives a fuck? God. Invading my AA meetings with your fucking political shit. Shut up. Okay. Done with that part. I'm not kidding. You know what I'm concerned about? I'm concerned that Colorado is the worst fucking state when it comes to recovery. And I know why. I go through this every now and again. No, I'm not going to stop. So I'm going to tell you what happens. Now, this bridge the gap. This is what's going to happen. This is what's going to happen. I'm telling you. And when it happens, I'm going to go back to central office. I'm going to say, I told you so. Now I'm reporting you to the state. Yes, I don't give a fuck if you're an AA member, a recovery coach, or what you are. You are abusing people. I'm going to report your ass. Period. End of sentence, exclamation point, dot. I will. Enough. Enough is enough, man. Yeah. Yeah. People are trying to talk to me about it too. I voted. That's as far as I'm going. I already said my political stuff today. And I don't care who you voted for. Okay. And you shouldn't. Okay. There is one thing I did notice. There was one thing I noticed. I saw that map and I thought I was looking at an addiction recovery map because every blue state was the worst state. They're the top worst states. I don't find that to be coincidental. What does that mean? It means the government needs to get out of recovery. I don't care who the president is. Get out. Get out. We don't need you. In fact, you've wrecked it. You've wrecked it by giving these unhealed people out here money after money after money. All of our abatement money is spent on dinners, vacations to fucking Hawaii, roofs for their paying off their own homes. That is what your abatements money is going to. And everybody's like, oh, no. Or we're just doing the next right thing. Fuck. You don't know what the next right thing is. You're an alcoholic. Did we not learn that? I thought I learned it. Shouldn't I talk to pretty much everybody when I'm about to make a move? Probably should have talked to somebody before I sent that message to Abby. I'm going to slap that bitch. She gaslit me. I rewrote that thing like 4 times. Finally, I was just like, I kind of said, I don't know what to say to you anymore. You're not listening to anything that I'm saying. And I'll just go somewhere else. Okay, so this is what's going to happen. I'm getting out of treatment, and somebody from Bridge the Gap is going to pick me up. And while we're talking, what they're going to do is they're going to turn me into a recovery coach. I'm never even going to make it to that AA meeting. Instead, I'm going to end up in a sober living where I'm going to be body brokered. That's what's going to happen. They're using Bridge the Gap to fill up their sober livings and to get clients. They're using an AA program, and central office will not listen to me. It's not good. Hi, Patricia. It's good to see you. My only concern is that we are dead last. It's my only concern. I do not care about anything else at the moment. Well, aside from going to my meetings and things like that, right? They're like, how are meetings in Colorado? I'm like, no, they suck. Can you help me find a good meeting in Colorado? Well, it depends. What are you worth putting? What are you willing to put up with? Because most of the Zoom meetings, and I even made the complaint to central office that most of the Zoom meeting links don't even work. They didn't even address it. And yes, I called AA World Services. Yes. And I will get a phone call back, and I will treat them nice because they haven't done anything yet. Okay. But this is the way I see it. If you want to, while I'm doing all this, if you want to fight me on it, if you want to tell me I'm wrong, then what happens is you go on a list of people that I will not work with, and I will try and put you in jail. I will do everything that I can. See, intent has everything to do with it. Intent, criminal intent. They have whole shows about it. Intent is more proof than visual. All right. It is intent because it shows a series of actions, and actions are louder than words. Oh, I saw them do it. Well, that's the least valuable proof in court. It's the least valuable proof to God because there's no fact behind it. The fact is they continue taking the money and spending it somewhere else that they're not supposed to. That is fact. And anytime they are involved, that is what will happen. That is fact. That is the intent of an alcoholic. Okay. When we do not get alcohol, we clamor for one or two things. I've watched this for 35 years now. Sex or money. There you go. Money. These people will blame what they do. Like the latest one is that my wife is dealing drugs. That's the new rumor. Oh, Dion's wife is selling drugs. And they did that through her cousin, who I reamed a new asshole. And then I reamed her stepdad a new asshole too for pushing that rumor forward. Okay. And they're directly involved with, guess who? The Hornbuckles. So guess who's dealing drugs? And they are. They are. I believe the person that told me. I believe them. There's no, it just fits. It fits. It's intent. They don't want to help. They want money while looking good. Okay. They will tout multiple pathways of recovery, but they have no idea what they're talking about. See, I misunderstood the multiple pathways to recovery too. Now, let me explain it. We meet people where they're at, we find out their needs, and then we do that. That is multiple pathways. The multiple pathways are not AA, NA. No, those are not the multiple pathways. The multiple pathway is how you end up at AA. That is the multiple pathway. The multiple pathway is say, okay, I get to here, and then this person said, well, you're kind of a drug addict more than you're an alcoholic, and they go to NA. That is the multiple path of recovery. We already have the fucking answer. We don't need a new wheel. I don't believe in God. You don't need to believe in God. Nobody said you need to believe in God. Then go to Agnostica. Yeah, Agnostica AA. You bet. There's meetings for it. We got it. We got it covered. Earlier, I gave the description of a recovery coach. It is the same description as a sponsor. Actually, a sponsor is a lot more valuable because at least a sponsor is recovered. Okay. See, I started talking to people that were recovery coaches. I'm like, hey, you want to tell your story on my podcast? They're like, yeah. I'm like, okay. Which pathway did you go? Because at this point, I still thought, well, I never really went any pathway. I just kind of got sober. Now I'm a recovery coach. Okay. Yeah, I'm not going to put you on my podcast. There's no experience there. There's no what it was like, what happened, and what it's like now. It's not there. They will say things like, oh, this person got me sober. This company keeps me sober. They've totally left God out of the whole thing. Okay. And that's why the responsibility statement is important. Because without the multiple pathways to recovery, we are dead. We're dead. If we don't have doctors and lawyers and all these people referring people to AA, it will die. And right now in Colorado, they are not. They are sending them to these sober livings because they have been duped. And they're good. They duped me for a year, man. That's pretty long to fucking dupe me. I think it was less than that, but I'm going to give it a year just to give it what it is. I can be fooled. Okay. But what's the saying? First time, shame on you. Second time, shame on me because I allowed it to happen again. Okay. Now, why do I do it? Do you think I'm doing this because I have some feeling of personal vendetta and things? Do I get justice out of it? Sure. Okay. But I'm going to tell you something. I've reached out to in the last 5 years now. I reached out to these people 3 times with an opportunity to change, and they have declined it every single time. Okay. Last time I was at Aurora Mental Health, and I said, okay, fine. If you're not going to get on board, you cannot send people here anymore. There you go. That's it. The other part is, and I know people are helping, the people that are here. I mean, Patricia's in another country. I mean, she can help so much. What does she do? She comes here every day and supports me. She listens to my bitching so that I can continue on. All of you do that. Okay. Amber does a shit ton in the background for the stuff that I do. We go to a lot of the same AA meetings. We do things together. Amber is one of my support people. one of my AA support people. Gary's a little different. He's more like family. Okay, we got we got Gary, not an alcoholic, but still wants to help the public. Has a servant's heart. Helps stuff with me doing stuff in the background. Has figured out what his lane is. Good for you, man. That's hard shit. Angel and I have been friends for fucking years. Angel was one of my first listeners. Okay, that was almost 7. I started doing this almost 7 years ago now. Suspected spam caller. I always answer these, but I'm going to let him listen to me preach.
Hello, am I speaking to the business owner?
She wants to know if she's speaking to the business owner. Are you with Google?
No, sir, we are from OLS and Google does not call us.
Yeah, so I keep telling you, I help people for free, and you continue to bother me. Remove me from your list now. Thank you, and have a great day. Bye-bye. I don't want to mess with them too long because I know what it means to telemarket. And if a telemarketer calls you and you don't want to talk to them, tell them, take me off your list. Okay? Now, you're actually doing them a favor. Somebody's going to call you again, and you're wasting their time. Just tell them. I have to get mad with them. About 20, a couple of seconds into that, I'm like, I'm going to come on here and fuck with people while they call me. How's that for leadership? No, Dion. See how quick that happened? Because I got to watch myself. But yeah, I'm pretty frustrated about all of it. Not sure what much more I have to say. Face, fuchsia, poop, shape. I have a feeling that was supposed to be something. I bet it was a face fuchsia with a poop shape. So sometimes it pops up weird through YouTube. But what's funny is what you put there, that's what we used to write. So back in like AOL beta, we actually used to do role playing, all sorts of stuff. If you wanted to do an action, you did, you had to put in the hyphens and stuff. You could even roll a 20-sided die and stuff. It was pretty cool. You had to know how to program. You needed to know DOS, and DOS is not that hard. There's just there. The thing is okay. Here we go. It's the little things that kill. And in Colorado, a lot of little things are not adding up. They're not being taken care of. The aloofness that I am getting from the central office. Okay. I asked for a meeting twice. She refuses to answer, and it is telling me everything that I need to know. It's telling me everything I need to know. Hi, Ingrid. Good to see you. It means she has a fear. She has a fear. There's a fear. Yeah. See, Gary? That's what you're supposed to do. That's how you get people in OA. Yeah. Great job, Gary. Yeah. I talk to these people. One thing that sort of frustrates me is a lot of times people were like, yeah, I was meeting with some people and it reminded me of you. And I say, well, that's great. Why didn't you bring my name up? I need to talk to those people. Stop thinking of me and bring it up. Sometimes I do wonder if I'm just too much for 99.9% of the world. I really do. Because in the middle of writing, I'm not writing a script, but I did have AI write me a script about a guy who feels really lonely and puts a good show on, but he's got this inner dialogue that's mostly just pain and rage. Sound familiar? Sometimes I do not feel heard, and this process with the central office, I was not heard. Now, is it central office's job to protect us from things? I don't know. I don't know. That's why I was asking questions, but they don't want to answer my questions, which means they're doing something wrong. Because I'm known as the person where don't fuck around in front of Dion. He will report you. I'm the snitch. Yes, these people call me snitch. So snitches are for bitches. Yeah, fine if you want to call me a snitch. No, I report. We're not 12 anymore. And we're dealing with people's lives. See, in a big book, it says that you have the power to save whole communities. But that means you also have the power to burn one down. I'm talking about alcoholics, people in recovery. I'm not talking about the rest of the fucking world. Oh, hold on. I have a cat locked in somewhere. Forgot. Sorry, Bastian. Since you guys had to wait, I figured I'd bring you another cat. This is Sebastian. He's my shy one. He hates being held. Figure I'd bring you. Man, I walk away for a second, everybody left. That was up to 6. So, yeah, it's hard. I mean, I would talk about easy stuff. So, and I know sometimes I might go a little too far. I don't know that I am going too far. I mean, this is stuff that I'm seeing. And if we don't know the truth, then how are we going to be able to even fucking do what's right or what we need to do? You know? I don't know. I know that it is partly me, though. All right. I'd talk about one other thing. It's off topic, but I'm trying to figure it out. So, we're working on the house, right? And the first question is this: co-ed or not? And I see both sides and I see how it could work, but I also see that there's more problems. Now, let's say we have a house like this one. My house is a 5-bedroom house. There's no privacy. There's no privacy, which means people are going to walk around. They're going to see each other naked and stuff. And what do alcoholics go for? Sex. They're trying to fill up that hole in their stomach. And I know that we're trying to get, but I also want to be open-minded about it. So here's my solution. That when we open, okay, so it's becoming a little more clear now. So what we need is a house for women, a house for men, but we all meet at one place. That would solve it. But I do not want them sleeping under the same roof. The temptation of getting away with something is too. See, when you have a horse thief, a drunk horse thief, okay, I'm going to use that, and you sober him up, what you have is a sober horse thief who gets more of a thrill from stealing horses. That's the cause and condition. Alcohol was a solution. The cause and condition is that they're stealing horses and getting away with it. It is the thrill of stealing the horse. The thrill of getting away with something there. Yeah. But I'm in love. But you don't know what love is yet. So that's why I'm a little. Now, if we had but I understand what Lori is saying, and she's dead on, and she's not wrong. Nobody's wrong here. Okay. These are just us getting to the right spot. She was in a place called Fort Lyon. Well, there's like 10 buildings there. So it was very separate. Okay. But the biggest thing for an alcoholic is having their own fucking space, especially a homeless alcoholic. Even if it's 3 foot by 10 foot, and that's their space, but it's theirs. They pay for it, they've claimed it, and it needs to be sacred. Right? I mean, we're already going to have to deal with drug dealers and other bullshit. Yeah. One of the first things that we're going to also need to figure out is who qualifies for the program. Because in my mind, what we're going after are the hopeless, helpless, chronic alcoholics. Okay. Are you living on the streets? Yeah, I'm in my car. You're not living on the streets. You're living in your car. I'm sorry. See, I'm pretty. But if I refer back to the big book, that's not meeting people where they're at, is it? Okay. Got to come up with rules. What if somebody has a relapse? Well, then maybe should the House vote on it? Why should I make that decision? Right? Isn't that if it's going to be a 12-step thing, then we need to vote on it. It has to be individualized. And this, okay, but we're doing it right, because it's going to be the professionals that say you need to go here. Not AA, not the recovery, not these other things. No, these professionals that work with the homeless, that are working the front lines with me. Those are the people. I could fill the house up in a day. That is actually the easy part. Okay. The hard part is the relationships. Okay. Because trust has been blown. The professionals in Colorado no longer trust AA because they think AA and recovery coaches are the same thing. And they blew it. I don't know how many professionals I've talked to, and they're like, we won't deal with recovery coaches. Their ethics are horrible. They need ethics. I'm like, yes, they do. Yes, they do. That's why I quit doing it. But I'm not a recovery coach. But, at the same time, I get to qualify myself. I've been doing this a long time, a very long time, longer than most people in AA have been alive, 35 years. And I know AA very well, but I also know the clinical side just as good. I do, but at the same time, I also like to go find those answers. Like, yeah, that's not part of it. All right. So what did I do these last 4 years? Well, I've been creating relationships with the right people. And these people are executive directors of counties and of government things that help us and supply us with the money. Because I went to them, I'm like, you're not helping us. And they asked what we wanted. I asked everybody, what do we want? And I got chicker, chicker, chicker. That's my sound of a cricket. Chicker. It was silent. Sometimes I don't know what I'm doing. And I very much have to rely on God, because nobody really covers this stuff with me. You'll listen to me bitch and I appreciate that. But I wonder sometimes if people even understand what I'm talking about. I know you guys do, or you wouldn't listen. And I've had extensive phone conversations with most of you. Or you've been a long time listener and you know me. That's why I'm skipping some things, because you already know. See, if you were new, that I would have to take this a much different tact on this. Even new people, I'm like, oh, where do you live? Stay away from here, here, and here, because I know what will happen. I already know what will happen, and I can tell you, I already know what's going to happen with Bridge the Gap, and I'm warning them. I warned everybody 4 years ago what was going to happen, and it happened. These last 6 months have consisted of, Dion, you were right. Okay, yes, I was, because I knew it was wrong, because I was taught it was wrong. Yeah. Now, what's going to be different? Even in the noon meeting I was in, a couple of us stayed after. right? Because he wanted to get some politics shit off his head, off his chest. And he's a good guy, and fuck it. I don't know enough about politics. Okay. We didn't vote for the same people, but we agreed on absolutely the same things. We did. We could find a landing spot that we could both agree on. And you know what that landing spot was? Helping other alcoholics. That God is the answer. We even talked about the Bible a little bit. He filled me in on some things that I was wondering about because I can't bring them up in AA. You know, about Jesus. No, I'm just curious. Sure, I am. I want to see where religious people are right because if I find out they're right, then I can start using it and I can help more people, and that's what I want. I have this insistent. You know that obsession you had for food and alcohol and drugs, helping other people. I get it. That's what happens to me. It's an obsession, and it does not stop. Okay. I don't write this while I'm working. I write this while I'm decompressing. I can never get any work done because I don't know what to do next. So I started doing these lists. But I found my best stuff comes to me when I'm not thinking about it. Like a nutritionist. Like I was thinking last time, like, we can get the food from the food banks, but we got to go a step beyond that. We need somebody to come in and show these guys how to cook and these gals. Let's just move that to people. Would that be appropriate? Just go with people? Okay. Now, even with this like co-ed stuff, we got to get into particulars, which I fucking hate, but in this case we do. What about somebody that's gay? Should they be in the women or the men's house? Well, they're going to be I would think they'd be in the men's house, but am I not thinking forward enough? What about a trans person? What about a house for them? How about a halfway house for a mom who doesn't have a place to stay, who has 2 little kids but needs some help? Yes. Well, I've got a dog. Okay. I'm putting cats in every fucking house. You bet. And they're all going to be named Acceptance. Okay. I'm stealing a trick. Yeah, my mom worked at Arapahoe House, a detox off Grant and by the Cinderella City down in Inglewood. And that's where she met my father, my stepdad, Roger. And I love this man. I'm so glad my mom met him. And the man that raised me, he's in a much better marriage too. I'm actually happy for him too. But this guy attracts animals. Like we'll go to the woods and he's just one of those guys who'll be walking down, wolf's walking beside him. There's a fucking raccoon riding his shoulder. I mean, literally, animals just love him. Okay. And the stray cat kept coming in, so they kept it, right? And what they did, and this was a detox, it was mostly for the people that worked there who were all in recovery, all of them, because that's only what Arapahoe House would hire. They didn't hire non-alcoholics unless you were a professional. But for the detox and the front lines, no. So they named the cat Acceptance, and I loved it. I caught it right away. I mean, I've been in therapy long. I was about 16. I was drinking at the time, but I needed money, so I'd stop by there. But anyway, so anytime somebody got upset or they didn't think something was right, then you had to find Acceptance, the cat. Isn't that cool? And what it did is it took acceptance and put a little bit of action into it. Because acceptance is not an action word. It's like a decision, right? So these are all the things that, that we need to think of. How about sports, weights? I don't think of that because I don't do it. Okay. But yeah, physical, we need to meet those physical needs. We need to, every single one of these. Okay. You know what else I'm going to do? Okay, these houses, they're not going to be shitty little things. No. Nope. I'm going to put a hot tub in each one. Okay. Actually, a soft tub, a 2-person soft tub You have to sign up for it, just like you would the showers. Yeah, you bet. And I think about it, I'm like, okay, now how fair is it that suddenly they have to, you know, what if we had an area of land and Amber could come teach us how to grow shit? See, now, all of this is valid and it's a part of. Now we got to start small, right? So two houses, one men's, one women's. We're discussing it on WhatsApp right now. People are like, yep. So, um, and if you're, I think I gave everybody here an invite to that. No, Gary, I don't think I sent you an invite, nor Patricia. Patricia, I didn't send you one because I honestly didn't think you would want to. But I will just say here that if you want to be a part of the group, it's a WhatsApp group. It's just called Hayworth House, and that's where we're discussing things. So if you'd like to be a part of that, just let me know. I don't care where you're from. I don't. I just, if you have knowledge about the 12 steps and helping other people, then you qualify. That's, yeah, because we need everybody. We need everybody. Gary would be a great nutritionist. He's like, no, you don't want to eat like that. You'll get fat. Don't do that. Okay. Got to have them all. All my ideas are so good, they're leaving. All right. Yeah, buddy. It wasn't really a rant. Yeah, more frustration. Yeah, sometimes I do wonder if I'm out of control sometimes, huh? But I don't know. I think that just might be my head talking to me. You know, and I do appreciate the kudos. I do appreciate. Okay, okay. I think I got your number. Can you send me your number in Messenger or in WhatsApp? Here, I'm gonna put my number in. Feel free to contact me on WhatsApp. I would love for you to be a part of, Patricia and Gary. Yes, absolutely, you can too. But I think his lunch is over. But so see how there's so much service work that can be done with just these two houses. Teaching people that idea came up because what my mom does is part of what she does is her service work is she teaches people who are not supposed to be in the country how to grow their own food so they can kind of isolate and be left alone. Yeah, that's what she does. Go for it. I think it's awesome. Helping other people out. These people are just trying to live and be self-sustained. If you're trying to be self-sustaining, heck, I'm going to support you on it. You know, these people will be engineers. They will be all sorts of things. You know, we'll probably have somebody that lives there that is a chef, and their job will be to cook dinner, right? And then we will have to do the dishes. Yes. Everybody will be sharing chores. There'll be a chore list. And I tell you something about homeless people. They will treat that house like gold. They will. Why? Because we came along and said, we're not going to give you a handout, but we're going to give you a hand up. Yes, we are. We're the people that say, here's a fish. While you're eating that, I'm going to show you how to fish. We're those people. We're the people that go an extra step. And I know that there's a lot of frustrated people out there right now, but I also know that there's a lot of people that have a fear behind it, and it's valid. If you kind of did what I did, you might lose your job. You might lose some of your friends. You might lose some things. Sure, those are valid fears, man. You know, Dion, I love you, but you're a little, I'm not even controversial. I'm not. I don't think I am. I do know I'm not everybody's cup of tea, which is why I need other people. Because let's say I have 3 or 4 other people doing kind of what I do, even if it's partly part-time, but you can get the message across to this other person better than I can, That would be a huge help to me. I do not want credit. That's why I want the help, because then the credit will go to God. But if I do it individually, then people will be like, Dion, you're so great. You're so great. And I'm like, it's thanks, but right? You know what I'm saying? Humility. I know I'm a good guy. I am. I'm a good fucking dude. I do everything that I can. I'm human, you know, but for the most part, I'm a pretty good guy. The moment you want to fuck around, I'm not for it anymore. I'm 54. I don't have the patience nor the tolerance for fucking childish games. I don't. I have sponsees. I don't need any more children. Right? All that talking makes a man thirsty. All right, that should probably do it. I can go on and on and on, but you know, just it's like people. I feel this is how I feel, which does not make it true. I feel like people are intentionally ignoring the problem, hoping it'll just go away, or oh, that person over there is working on it, so it's none of my business. Oh, serenity prayer, I can only change me and nothing else. But the serenity prayer doesn't say that at all. It doesn't say that. In the beginning, the serenity prayer will very much be about that. But try combining the serenity prayer and the responsibility prayer. And if it doesn't match, then you're not. Then I am not doing the serenity prayer correctly. And I'll tell you where it's at. God grant me the strength to accept the things I cannot change. Okay. I'm just going to use today's events. Okay. Can you change the outcome of the votes for president today? No. Nope. There's nothing you can do about it. Okay. Can you make the neighborhood that you live in a little bit better place to live? Yes, you can. Yes, you can. Oh, but I can only change myself. No, you got to change yourself first. You got to change yourself first. You got to be worth something having. It's hard to hear, but it's just true, man. It's true. So I liked what I said earlier about mixed nuts meetings. Al-Anon and AA meetings. You shouldn't mix them. You just shouldn't. It's just going to start a fight. The Al-Anons have strong boundaries, and they need them because alcoholics are manipulative little shits. But we're also crybabies. We're sensitive people. I wonder how many people walk out of those rooms crying. Oh no. There's just something about being in our lane that matters. All right. Well, it was a couple of years ago. About a year and a half ago. I was trying to do some fentanyl things. I thought I could help. Right. I found out something, man. So I was interviewing these parents who lost their kids to fentanyl, and I'm making it worse. I was sitting there watching it because I asked some of the questions, but Andrea was helping me with it because she's been through it and I felt was a better host, but I was there for support. But I was sitting there and I'm like, we're just re-traumatizing these ladies. And I went to Andrea and I said, honey, I can't do this. I'm hurting these people. I'm bringing up trauma and they haven't healed yet because, when it comes to death, I mean, it may hurt for a long time. And we don't know when that time is because it's different for everyone. Okay. They may be grieving for 20 fucking years, but it's not for Dion to put that on display. I felt bad about that. And I apologized to the two speakers that we had. And they said, no, Dion, you didn't do anything wrong, but we do understand what you're saying. Okay. I could have made my podcast huge from that. But no. I don't promote. I don't promote. I keep getting told that it's kind of like the field of dreams. If you build it, they will come. That's what I'm being told by God. Not directly. It comes in, various ways. Yeah. I don't know if it's just that I've studied this for so long, or if it's empathy, or if I have foresight. I'm not psychic, I can tell you that. Okay. But I do know what's going to happen next usually. And I'm usually right, especially when it comes to this. And I know it'll happen. So, all right. Well, I feel a lot better about it. So I appreciate everybody listening. And I hope somebody got something out of this. Um, I noticed a lot of people kind of took off. So, um, but it's in the middle of the day. They're at work, so they listen when they can. That's what that is. So, all right. Thank you everybody for being here. Patricia, send me a messenger or on WhatsApp, and I'll get you in that group about the halfway house. Thank you everybody for being here. I appreciate it. I love you.